Politically, over the last few years, America has not been a country particularly kind to older white male candidates, several of whom have lost re-election bids to Congress to prove it. So looking ahead to 2020, we wonder, are you more about a candidate who is younger and all about change, or are you also open to candidates who are older, familiar, and more experienced?
Somebody with some newer ideas is the way to go. The old establishment was fine for a while, but it's kind of not working out anymore.
Now it is time for Wall Street to come to the aid.
I'm more receptive to whoever is going to make a difference, not necessarily who's younger, because sometimes younger isn't always better.
You have to have experience, and I guess that takes some age.
I think it is very important that we all
I'm pretty candidate agnostic, party agnostic. I just care about the issues that I care about.
I'm just looking actually for somebody who I can agree with, and whatever form they take.
Well, that's what it all comes down to.
I'm on board.
Not something you want to find out when you've just invested in home.
We can have a nice change vice president, but I need a win. Like, I need a winner right now. Let's assemble the Warriors and let's get it done.
This is the point that we launched the roundtable conversation right now. And joining us this morning right here on the roundtable, longtime Boston Globe political writer Frank Phillips. Is it okay to call you a longtime Boston?
You're calling me old? But that's
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. And Republican political analyst Virginia Buckingham. Great to have you with us.
So you just heard Congressman Lynch a few minutes ago. So listening to what he is talking about security-wise, Jenny, how worried are you about the 2020 election?
I'm not. So there's three things that I think are important. Disinformation is very different than changing votes, and you heard Congressman Lynch say no votes were changed. The second thing is I think the Democrats who are worried about Trump being reelected are already setting up this notion that Russians are going to change votes, in case he is, so they can blame that again. Third, can't we mandate paper ballots? I mean, that seems like a really simple solution.
But it would take 20 states to change the system, and you know
Let's
how...
do it.
You heard what he said, Frank. Do you think that... did alarm bells go off in your head when you heard what he had to say about the security?
Yeah, I think there is a problem, and I don't like the disinformation being a reporter. I know it can be done on the internet, and the ability to absolutely distort facts and make things so distorted that people are going to make up their minds on candidates that are not
disinformation,
not accurate.
Political ads. I don't know. It sounds familiar.
Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Let's talk about the presidential debates, and obviously there've been two already, and it is only June of the year before we're going there. There were two long nights. There were 20 wannabes between the two nights on the stages, 10 each night. Who gained the most ground, and who surprised you, Frank?
Well, I go with what everybody's saying. Kamala Harris really did a magnificent job at putting Joe Biden on the spot. That was very tough for Biden, and I think she obviously came out far ahead. I think Buttigieg did very well in taking responsibility for failing to do something with the police department in his hometown. I thought he looked good. I thought Castro did well putting Beto O'Rourke, gave him a good shove to the side, and that took away his chance of ever getting, or using at least that for him to get off the ground, which he needs to do. He's not doing very well out there.
Jenny.
So I think Kamala, obviously she was fierce. She was poised. She had that magic something that you can't quite describe in a presidential candidate. I think Biden was pathetic, and I was really shocked at how fumbling he was.
So that one surprised you?
Really surprised me, because I thought they'd prepare him better for the obvious questions. The other loser, high school Spanish teachers, because boy, those three, they needed to do a little better than they did.
What about Elizabeth Warren, winner or loser in the fact that she was alone as the big name for the first debate?
I think she was very good, and she was solid, and she'll have standing, obviously, way beyond this, but she doesn't have that spark you get from debates because she wasn't in the big one.
And Frank?
I agree with Jenny. She was very good in that first debate. She faded at the end, but I think she came. Had she been on the other panel, she would have been sort of overwhelmed, like Bernie was. She was kind of shunted. Bernie was kind of.
Yeah.
Has been there.
Elizabeth Warren isn't our only presidential offering. Another Massachusetts candidate didn't make the cutoff for the debates, but he ran this ad in strategic states like South Carolina, Iowa, and New Hampshire. Take a listen.
I'm Seth Moulton. I won't be on the debate stage tonight, so I'm introducing myself here. I served 4 combat tours in Iraq, a war I spoke out against. I'm progressive, I'm practical, and I can beat Donald Trump.
Ad a smart move, Ginny?
It was a smart move, but as I was looking at that debate stage and saw the author and Andrew Yang and others who really didn't belong there, I'm like, Seth, it's a problem that you weren't on that stage.
Did that speak to you? Did the ad speak to you, Frank?
Yeah, it does. It presented himself, and I think was very clever to do it. Again, it wasn't a very elaborate ad. It didn't give a lot of feel for him other than a talking head. And I think he demonstrates that he doesn't have much money or juice to get on to the debate stage.
We continue on the record. Stay with us.